Stay tuned as we check out this Marvel Legends 80th anniversary Wolverine and Hulk 2-pack. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we are taking a look at this Marvel Legends 80-year anniversary 2-pack with Wolverine and the Hulk. Now this is of course the first appearance Wolverine, that's why he looks a little bit funky, and a much needed updated comic book Hulk. Now we recently had San Diego Comic-Con where they gave us that Hulk in the vintage packaging, but I didn't pick that up as I knew I was getting this guy, and I was definitely opening this box up as I need a comic based Hulk for my shelf. So hopefully this guy will do the job. Not so excited about the Wolverine, but still it comes in a 2-pack, so I'm stuck with it. So there we have them in the front. On the back you get the actual comic book where this 2-pack is from, where the Wolverine actually appeared in the Hulk comics, and he did look a little bit funky with this weird mask on with those sort of whiskers. So yeah, we get a little sort of picture of both of them in that comic book, and a little bit right up for both as well. And of course the main attraction is the comic book that this box set represents. So as I said, Wolverine, obviously I love the character, just not so much this particular appearance, but now I have it in figure form. We get some interchangeable hands for both Wolverine and the Hulk, but without further ado, let's get them open. So here we have them out of the box, and they are undeniably Wolverine and the Hulk. They do look very nice out of packaging. I like the paint jobs, I like the green, I like the yellows. They stand out, and I'm sure they will stand out amongst your display. I just really don't like the Wolverine first appearance head. It's just a personal choice. It's just not my Wolverine when I think of him. But I'm sure I will find a use for this figure in the collection, maybe a head swap or something. And of course I need a comic book Hulk, and I like how this is detachable as well. He's wearing his trademark purple trousers, and he also has interchangeable hands. And I know this might seem like such a simple pack-in, but it's really good to get the option of fisted hands or open grabbing hands, because the Hulk, it can change the display just by having those different hands. And we do get some interchangeable fisted hands without the claws for Wolverine as well. So I will take a look at these individually, but I did want to see how they look like together at first, and I do think they look great. But let's break it down, and let's start off with Wolverine himself. So firstly, taking a closer look at that Wolverine face sculpt, and I do actually like the face sculpt. I like the angry expression. I like the man under the mask. I just don't like the mask. That's just my own personal preference. I'm not a fan of his first appearance look, but the differences are obviously those whiskers, and his ears ain't as sticky out and pointy, and it's just not my Wolverine, but this is how he first appeared in the comics. So again, no knock at Hasbro at all. I think what they wanted to do, they have accomplished. It's just not my personal preference for Wolverine, but it's a decent face sculpt nevertheless. The rest of the figure is what we've seen before with Wolverines. It is the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. The blue tones are a little bit different to the version we got in the Apocalypse Wave, and the shoulder pads ain't as big. These ones are a little bit more thin, and they also like sort of slide down there, which I don't like that look. I'd rather them be stuck up there, but they've done that so it doesn't hinder the articulation at the arm. So I understand why they've done it. It's just not my look. You have to keep putting them up there. He's not got his X bout on. He's actually got the sort of vintage wave bout, which I believe I've still got the vintage figure here. I haven't took it out of packaging yet, but you can see he's still got the vintage wave bout. But the rest of the figure is exactly the same. There's the bout, the blue trunks and the blue boots. The blue tones are a little bit different to the Apocalypse Wave Wolverine, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to say that the figure is very nice overall. Definitely looks like Wolverine when you look at it like that. But when I pull and see the face, it's just like, who's this guy? Yeah, just not a fan of the face sculpt. When it comes to the hands, obviously we're getting the standard Wolverine claws that always come out a little bit warped in the box. Apparently the X-Force Wolverine does a better job at keeping them in place, which we shall see in a future review. But you do get interchangeable hands with this guy, so pop them off and then pop the new ones on. It is that simple. And there you go. Now you can have a Wolverine without the claws if you wanted to. So again, looks decent. So obviously Hasbro have gave us lots of Wolverines recently, so here's a comparison of just a few of them. We have the Tiger Stripe Wolverine from the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave, and then here we have Logan from the Riders wave. So I do like these looks. Again, I actually maybe prefer the colour yellow on this new version than I do on here. This one looks a little bit more mustard, but as I said, I prefer the head sculpt on here, but you can't do a straight swap as the yellows are too different. It would stand out. Again, the blues are very different as well. This one's a bit more of electric blue. That one's a bit more subtle. So maybe I prefer this blue and this yellow. So maybe if there was an amalgamation, it would make my perfect Wolverine. I do prefer that he's got the X-Bout there. So yeah, there's pros and cons of both again, but that's the magic of toys. Just mix and match, make your preference. Here we have Logan, of course. And again, if I like this figure, but I don't like the head sculpt. So I can pop that off, and pop this on, and maybe make a, now, yeah, it sort of sits on there. Yeah, sits on there okay. I thought it was a bit loose. But yeah, it sort of makes him look like he hasn't got a neck. But it sort of works if you wanted an unmasked Wolverine with this body. If you're like me and you're not a fan of that head sculpt. He sort of looks like a Mexican wrestler when he's like this, doesn't he? Like he could take on Rey Mysterio in a battle or something. But yeah, I guess you can mix and match. But that's the magic of action figures, as I keep saying. Pick your poison. No one is wrong, it's whatever you like best. And for one quick comparison, here we have our first exclusive in-hand look of the new Marvel Legends Love Triangle 3-pack with Jean Grey and Cyclops. Oh, hang on. No, we don't. Scrap that. And moving on to the Hulk, here we have our close-up, and I really like that angry expression on the face. Is there really an expression for the Hulk apart from this one? He is the Hulk because he is angry. It would have been good to get some different head sculpts though, with different hairstyles maybe, as the Hulk has had a few in the past. But again, it's pick your poison. This is the more raggedy hair, classic looking Hulk. And I do like the colour green they've chose on this. It's sort of got lighter shades of yellow in there as well. Maybe a little bit, maybe lighter shades of green. There's definitely some sort of shading on this figure somewhere. But as you can see, he's got his shirt that is ripped open on him. And I can show you now on the back there as well. It's just a ripped shirt. And at first I thought this might have plugged in or something. But nope, it's a separate, soft, rubbery piece that just soft rubber. There you go. It's gone. It's like magic. And yeah, it just sort of sits on him. So there is no hole in the back of the figure. There are some really, really good butterfly joints though. If you wanted the Hulk to sort of do that, I don't know why you would. They would have been useful the other way around, Hasbro. I don't know what you're playing at. But they do give you a good range of motion, but only backwards. Only backwards. There's nothing forward, which is annoying. So Hasbro, you've put them in the wrong place. I just don't get why you've done that. But yes, there we have the Hulk. And yeah, there's definitely more shades of a lighter green or yellow or whatnot. Moving down onto his trademark purple trousers, sort of gone 3/4 length there. They're all ripped up with the green underneath. And again, these are a separate piece that sort of stick out at the bottom there, which is a nice touch. And then we get the Hulk toes. And there is a decent bit of articulation on the feet with some decent ankle pivot as well. So you're going to be able to get your Hulk in some decent poses. Just a shame about the butterfly joints at the front because there's some waist articulation. There's a decent diaphragm joint. But yeah, those butterfly joints are just backwards for me. I know it's not intentionally, or Hasbro have done that on purpose, but I don't get why. But you can get him in some good grabby poses maybe like that. With his articulation. So there are benefits of it, and I'm sure the ACBA community will find something to do. Now, he does come with one grippy hand and one fisty hand, but again, the magic of this 2-pack is you can change that. So the hands pop out. So now we have 2 grippy hands, and again, they're decent enough. Nice expression there for the Hulk. And there we have 2 fisted hands where the Hulk can do some punching, which is what he's probably best at. So yeah, pick your poison. But again, I like the display options. I appreciate that pack in Hasbro. And of course, this t-shirt can sort of just rest on top if you wanted to sort of resemble that look. It would be good for Hasbro to give us a more comic-based Bruce Banner since it's been a long time. Maybe give us a Bruce Banner with a lab coat on so we can sort of display him with this Hulk. That would be nice. But for now, I'll probably display him without that on. And yeah, he can just Hulk smash like this. Now, in regards to scale, I do think this guy will sit nicely amongst your collection. As you can see, he is about 8.5 inches tall, so will tower above most of your Marvel Legends. Now, I don't have a comic-based Marvel Legends Hulk, but I do have some MCU versions. So here we have the Age of Ultron Hulk from the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave, and then here we have the more recent Endgame Hulk from the Endgame Wave 2. And as you can see, this guy is probably taller than both of them. So yeah, a nice looking comic-based Hulk to go along in your collection. And for your comic book based comparison, here you can see the Hulk towering above some of your Avengers. So these three are from the Marvel Legends 80th anniversary line with Iron Man, Captain America and Thor. And as you can see, this Hulk scales really well. And just for fun, I threw in a comic based Hawkeye and Black Widow to sort of create your original MCU Avengers lineup in comic-based form, which is a nice touch. Yes, I know it's not the original Avengers lineup from the comics, but I did say original MCU-based lineup in comic-based form. And I think these look good on your shelf. So there you have it. Final thoughts are, as usual, I like it much more when I have it in hand than I originally anticipated. The Hulk is very nice. Definitely my favorite comic-based Hulk I have in my collection now. And I'm sure I will find a way to use this Wolverine on the shelf as well, even if I don't like his face mask. But it's a nice 2-pack. If you're a Wolverine or a Hulk fan, this is something you're going to be wanting to get. It will definitely make your comic section of your shelves and displays pop. So as usual, you let me know what you think in the comments below as usual, and go and check out the videos tab, as I have now reviewed every single box set from this Marvel 80th year anniversary wave that have come out so far, and there's still more 80th line figures to come, so you know what to do. Go and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much, and as always, my name is Dan W, and I shall see you on the next one.